Next item, please.
Next item is action items. First, special consideration of an action item. Are there any action items on this agenda? Is my microphone on? Is there
Yes.
any action items on this agenda which board members or the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the motion below. I'm looking for a motion to approve all of the action items on this agenda, with the exception of any items which have just been excluded from the, which would be excluded from this motion
29.
by board requests.
I know we have to, may exclude 29 for a separate roll call.
Oh, you have to fill, yeah, we've got
You
to
have to
fill in.
in the name. And the other resolutions, they could be voted on with the same motion.
And we have a supplement as well. Be
Yes,
sure
thank you
you
for that.
include that in the number up to 34,
So what I'm hearing is only action item number 29.
29.
That
Yeah.
we're,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna exclude.
It's 1 through 34 with the exception of 29.
Yes. So somebody make a motion?
No.
Oh, you got to read
So
it.
You're supposed
you
to
can
read.
read
Oh,
the current
sorry,
recommended
sorry.
action, 1 through 34, with the
Yes.
exception of 29.
I am, all right. So I'm looking for somebody to move that action items numbered 1 through 34, with the exception of item 29, be approved as recommended in this agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Motion moved by trustee Barry, supported by trustee Petlishkov. Any questions on any items? I do have a question on the Parent Square contract, number 18. I know this was piloted, and it's clear that the cost for this would be offset by the elimination of the platform currently being used. Do we know approximately how much are we using, or how much are we paying for the current platform, and if that's in touch?
It is in touch.
They just can't.
And we also have another platform that we use for our newsletter, which is quite small compared. But the offset is not one-to-one. Be
Okay.
clear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know how much we're paying in touch?
We would save in other areas too, like including some of the mailers and papers that would go out in terms of forms, because of how we would be able to utilize those digital services with this as well too.
But we don't know the number, I'm saying, as far as
In,
financial.
In touch is $1 a student.
$1.
Yeah, In touch is currently a dollar per
Okay.
student.
Okay. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Trustee Aljahmi.
Yes.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Yes.
Trustee Zahar, yes. Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Petlicoff.
Yes.
President Mozip.
Yes, thank you. Can we read
29.
29, or, yeah, and then we can do summary of agenda items.
Okay.
Just the recommended action.
Okay. So we need to read 29 first by itself?
The
item or
recommended
just
action.
Recommended
The
action.
line, just the line? Oh, the recommended action, sir. Oh,
Page 22.
yeah.
Do we have
Yeah, the recommended action.
names we're plugging in?
James, they only have two,
Okay.
James Barry and.
The recommended action here is move that the Dearborn Board of Education designates blank as its representative and blank as an alternate. In the event the designated representative is unable to attend, and is further directed to cast a vote on behalf of the board for candidates blank and blank.
So, since trustee Barry is our representative for Wayne County, Risa,
He could
We only
be-
have two names, so one can be plugged in
Yeah,
as the
so-
representative and the other one can
I
be.
nominate you to be the representative.
Yeah.
Who would like to serve as an alternate? No,
I'll go.
okay. Thank you, trustee Petlicoff.
Okay, now you want me to read it again?
Well, you need the names of the
We have to put in the
candidates as
candidate.
well, and there's only two that were submitted to us.
So those are the two candidates.
James Berry and Linda
And,
Jackson.
yeah.
Okay, now you want me to read it again? All right. It's a fun pen, huh? Okay. All right. I'm looking for somebody to move that the Dearborn Board of Education designate Trustee Hussein Berry as its representative and Trustee Mary Petlicoff as an alternate in the event the designated representative is unable to attend, and is further directed to cast a vote on behalf of the board for candidates James Berry and Linda Jackson.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by trustee Berry, supported by trustee Petlicoff. No discussion, so roll call, please.
Trustee Aljahmi.
Yes.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Yes.
Trustee Zahar, yes. Trustee Berry.
Yes.
Trustee Petlicoff.
Yes.
President Mozip.
Yes, thank you.
Just as a point of order, we're coming into the 10 o'clock hour where we need to vote to extend the meeting.
I hope not, but
We are.
until 10, we can do that.
Trustee Zar can read fast.
I think
Yeah.
Trustee, I'm sorry, Dr. Maleko, you want to comment on the appointments that we just made?
Sure. I'm going to call up first, our officially, she's been serving in the interim capacity, Noor Charara, who's just approved as the new officially assistant principal. Congratulations, and we're calling her up right now. I think she has some family here. I know they've been waiting a long time, but you finally got it. And I know she's doing great work, and we appreciate it. So congratulations, Noor.
Thank you. President Mozip, Dr. Maleko, and trustees, thank you for trusting me with this opportunity to continue to serve in Dearborn Public Schools. I also wanted to give a special thanks to Principal Zaina Jabril and the assistant principals that I've been working with this past year, Caitlin Ball and Hassan Beydoun. I have grown to be not only a better leader, but a better educator and a person working alongside them, and I'm excited to continue to work alongside them and be a pioneer. So thank you.
Thank you.
And next, we have the new athletic director of Dearborn High, Mr. David Hawley. Congratulations and welcome. We had a very good last interview, and I know he's passionate about this job, and so very excited. So,
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Maleko, President Mozip, members of the Board of Education. I'm very excited to have the trust instilled in me to lead Dearborn High Athletics. I'm excited to join Mr. Brill's team. I'm excited to continue the proud tradition of Dearborn Athletics. I'd like to thank my wife, Julie, my daughter, Megan, my son, Trevor, who's not here tonight because he has to work. Without them, I would not be standing in front of you today. I also like to thank my Fortson family. For 10 years, they've shaped me, molded me, supported me, and gave me a lifelong of memories, and so I'm forever grateful to them. Let's go Pioneers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Summary of items.
Summary of agenda items, please.
Summary of agenda items. Number 1, approval of warrants. Number 2, approval of an award to Cognia per Board Report 24-135. Number 3, approval of an award to Quaver Ed Incorporated per Board Report 24-136. Number 4, approval of an award to People Driven Incorporated and CDWG. Number 5, approval of an award to Eton Academy on behalf of Divine Child Elementary School. Number 6, approval of an award to Carnegie Learning LLC per Board Report 24-137. Number 7, approval of an award to Common Lit Incorporated per Board Report 24138. Number 8, approval of an award to Eureka Math per Board Report 24-139. Number 9, approval of an award to CLET World Languages per Board Report 24-140. Numbers 10 through 15, approval of change orders. Number 16, approval of an award to Frontline Technologies. Number 17, approval of a blanket order per Board Report 24-141. Number 18, approval of an award to Parent Squared. Numbers 19 through 22, approval of change orders. Number 23, approval of an award to Spence Brothers and Best Asphalt per Board Report 24-142. Number 24, approval of an award to Allied Construction Services per Board Report 24-143. Number 25 through 27, approval of non-instructional and instructional personnel items for P through 12. Number 28, approval of financial statement. Number 29, approval of designation of Wayne Reza election representative, or that was separately. Number 30, approval of a Wayne Reza budget per Board Report 24149. Number 31, approval of a resolution call for full permanent funding of IDEA per Board Report 24-150. Number 32, approval of donations. And then what are you going to do with 34 and 30? I don't have a summary.
Yeah.
Number 33, appointment of athletic director at Dearborn High. And number 34, appointment of assistant principal at Dearborn High.
Boom. Good job.
So,
10 o'clock,
let's,
Put a motion on the table to extend the meeting 15 minutes.
Support.
may I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Aljahmi.
Yes.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Yes.
Trustee Zahar, yes. Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Pelichkov.
Yes.
President Mozip.
Yes. Thank you. Meeting is extended. Next item, please. It's discussion.
Yep. Next item is a discussion item, 2025-26 board goals by President Mozip.
Thank you. I will turn it to Trustee Aljahmi. He does want to have a full board discussion item on one of his goals that I truly support. So Trustee Aljahmi, if you want to give us a summary of the dashboards that you would like to see, and so we can have a discussion and then a direction for the superintendent to act on.
Well, we have a lot of data at the district. There's different systems, whether it's MyStar, whether it's WIDA, iReady, and so many different things. And for transparency purpose and for efficiency, I know Trustee Barry mentioned earlier requesting data. Really, we should have a method or a way where data should be available to us, but not just the board, the cabinets, the teachers. We have a lot of smart people in the district, you know, Dr. Patterson, Fatma Faraj, Lamise, the data is there. We just need to find a method to put the data together. And doing a dashboard, there's different ways of doing it, Power BI or so on, but it's a way to take all those datas, because when, to go back a little bit, when I was trying to get some data on WIDA, on ELO, it's in Excel sheets, it's all over the place. But if we invest in a lot of these different systems, these different hybrid systems, to be connected to a dashboard, it would allow us to be able to see the data in a way where we can make the right decisions. It gives us the ability as leaders in the district to be able to slice and dice the data and to be able to see the data in a way we want to see it. And, you know, I see where there's financials, investments, and I know there's, we just discussed possibly if, you know, cuts and so on, but just like anything else, you have to invest to be able to get the data that you want. Whether it's graduations, whether it's number of students who are ELL students, whether it's kids that, how did they perform in iReady versus last year versus this year? You could look at the data in so many different ways. And it gives our, you know, the parents and the public a way to see how we're performing. And it gets into something else that I was going to discuss, but I'll wait for next week. Right now, you know, our proficiencies are low, and we need to know what the root cause. Is it ELL? Is it this? Is it that? So having the dashboard, the business intelligent way of presenting the data and having it available to us so that no one has to ask for it will be an investment that's well worth it. And I'm willing to answer any question on what that means.
Questions? Trustee
Well-
Pelichkov?
I'm just not sure how, Trustee Barry talked about the fact that he thought everybody should be able to ask for this information whenever they wanted it. But actually, we do have a board bylaw that does request that if you're going to put an ordinate amount of extra work on a department or an individual to collect this information and only one board member is interested in having access to it, that the full board has to approve of collecting that information. It is part of our, it was approved many, many years ago by a past board, and is part of the bylaw. So my concern here is I'm not exactly sure how easy your request is to fulfill. Is this something that we are going to have to invest a lot of extra time and energy outside of the normal job of whoever, I would assume somebody in IT is what you're thinking of, would have to pull so many pieces of information from 34 buildings that they collect on 20,000 students. So I want to be careful what we ask for, because when we ask for individual requests for information at a time that we need that particular, that's only one piece of information. If we're going to try to say you have to keep up all this data retrieval and have it in one place for any particular person at any particular time, it could be something that could be insurmountable for an employee to produce. So I just want to be cautious in how we move forward in accepting this as an easy task. So I just don't know what this is going to incorporate in the, request.
Well, the first thing that you need to look at or ask yourself the question, based on the bylaw that you just presented, is why is the data not there? Why is it hard to get the data? Why do we make it an obstacle to get the data by creating a bylaw that restrict?
Well, the bylaw is not doing that.
Let me just complete my thoughts. So we're making it hard to ask for data, but the question is, why is the data not there? So that's one thing. But when you're investing in technology, you're investing in it, and nobody has to do it. Eventually, you have to have support people around it, but you have different systems out there, and you can't get to the data unless you go through somebody, and somebody has to put an effort. So just like anything else, you're building for early college, you're doing, you have to invest. Technology is important for us to see what we need to see. So when we say business dashboard, there has to be a development of a business intelligence platform. Microsoft has one called Power BI, and there has to be technical resources to do that, to be able to connect iReady, WIDA, MyStar, MSTEP, to be able to get the data. Once you do that, that cost, the development costs, will pay later on with the ability to be able to see the data easily and not so difficult. So it's not a manual process, but it's a development process in the sense of technology development. So we really need to, we're 2025. We should not say, don't make it hard for people to get the data. Well, let's make it easier for them to have the data available.
I just want to interject on something as somebody who is in software development. And I actually been into multiple conferences for the school boards where they have firms that actually can be engaged as far as a contract to come and look at your various data sources and to develop dashboards. So that might be an avenue that we can do instead of, putting this work on our IT, which is very limited. And by the way, we thank them for putting on the new system for the work orders. I wanted to make sure that they get the credit for that. But I believe in producing rich data dashboards you would need to engage an external firm that will come and look at all of your data sources, and then they can
Definitely.
combine them, and they ask you first what data that you want to show. And they could connect all of their data points and then show them in presentable dashboards that could be available for board members, could be available for parents and for staff. So I'm in support of that, but it's how do we go about it? Do we engage a third-party firm to come and look at it? I think that's probably the best way instead of asking our own IT to develop these dashboards. And also ask the question, what current dashboards do we have that we present? I know we present external data that comes from the state where parents can go and see individual schools and how they're doing, but what are we doing also? That's probably where we want to start.
Sure.
What kind of data points that we have, and what are we doing to show them?
And there's some that are available from the state, from the parent dashboards from the state. So the state does a lot of it for us. But we can talk to Trustee Aljahmi about some of the detail, and I believe with Ms. Faraj and Dr. Patterson, there's a couple other products we've used in the past, edicts and Munetrix, that are built for school districts, and it may have some of what you're talking about. So there may be a way to go to these sources that have some of those data sets and link it, and I don't know, Ms. Faraj and Dr. Patterson said they had a good meeting with you.
We had a great meeting.
Kind of get on top of that and maybe look at some options, maybe. We proceed cautiously and just look at options of what we can do. Some of these products, that's why I went over there, I was listening to it, I was talking to Tom. I couldn't remember the name of the product, it was Munetrix and edicts that we use. So Tom is able to get some of that good data out of those systems. So it may be what you're looking for, some of it, or it may be a combination, but we can definitely look into this and kind of talk to you along the way and the board.
Yeah, I would suggest the process would start by identifying the type of data that's needed and the type of systems that are available. That's the first thing we need to identify internally.
Sure.
But I agree with Trustee Mozip. Eventually, a third party would have to be engaged to help us build the data. Now, there might be in the educational, there might be educational platforms available that already does that. But when we talk about the state has data for MSTEP. It doesn't have iReady, it doesn't have WIDA, it doesn't have MyStar for tardiness and absenteeism. So there is some data at the state level, which I've looked thoroughly, but it's not full of what we use.
Trustee Barry?
Just like Dr. Maliko said, there's a ton of information at the state, whatever you want to call it. When I get a client, I send them to our website. They're able to get more information from state websites. So with that being said, so yeah, I definitely want to support the direction I'm going. And the good thing is about, like sometimes, I think of a report that we had 4 or 5 years ago, and I always ask, that report that we had went over, can we get it updated? Well, I don't have to ask for that. It's on the,
Yeah, people
it's on the, it's right there, and it should be updated. I guess in the beginning, it's gonna look a little complex, but after you create it, it shouldn't take that much, I'm not that guy, but it shouldn't take that much effort to keep it updated. And we need information. It's that simple. Like I said earlier, I don't want to sound negative, but there was a time where I was told, you're asking too many questions. It's like, whoa, okay, I kind of started to believe that, but I'm like, no, we need these informations. You start talking to, teachers, you start talking to other employees, and, in order to make decisions that affect the whole district, students, parents, you need that information. So I applaud you for bringing this forward. So let's see what we need to do. Let's not start with hurdles. Let's start with what can be done. And we'll go from there.
Okay. Other questions? Thank you, Trustee Aljahmi, and everybody for participating. Next item, please.
Next item is Board of Education business, starting with acknowledgment of correspondence.
The emails that I received, responded to them and included Dr. Malika to respond to some of the questions that stakeholders had. Any other correspondence, Dr. Malika?
I just want to mention, I think the board sees, we're getting a lot of, compliments from different staff at different levels, and I always send it to the HR, and send it to the board so you can see it. So we appreciate the work, teachers, the FSC, we're getting compliments of how that impact it was. So we always make sure we get it in their personnel file, and I always send it to the board and the executive or the cabinet as well to give some recognition, acknowledgement. And a lot of times it ends up at the board commendations too.
Next item, please. Thank you.
Next item is board member committee and organization reports.
I know we had to forego the committee meetings for today because we had the other business at Henry Ford College. So I would expect the chairs of each committee to communicate with your members and see if you can meet later this month. I'm available to fill in if there are no availability.
That's what I was thinking, but thank you.
Next item, please.
Next item is board member superintendent commentary.
I just want to mention that I did attend the MASB Spring Institute, where I partaked in the President Superintendent Workshop, and it was very helpful for me as a new president to learn about the position, about relationships, and also seeing what other districts are doing in that realm. So it was time away from family, but I think it was very well spent. Trustee Barry?
Yeah, so before our next meeting, graduations will happen. Exciting time of the year, so congratulations to all of our graduates, and I'm looking forward to these ceremonies.
Absolutely. We have to extend the meeting, so if I can have. a
Motion to extend the meeting 15 minutes.
Support. We seem to be the,
Motion moved by
Motion and
trustee
support
Barry,
cir-
supported by
circle.
trustee Peskov. Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Aljahmi.
Yes.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Yes.
Trustee Zahar, yes. Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Pelichkov.
Yes.
President Mozip.
Yes, thank you. Any other commentary?
I-
Trustee,
I just want to thank, I met some of the cabinet members and Fatma Faraj Lamis and Adam Marin, and I was really, really impressed by their knowledge and their skills and their accommodation to listen to me and to help me out. So I do want to thank them, and I appreciate it. I've also met with others in the past, so thank those as well, but this is the most recent.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm also as excited for graduation season, honors night. I know we've been invited to so many, even National Honor Society inductions. I apologize if I don't make them because of schedule constraints, but we will try our best. There are also, I believe we began with the cleanup parades.
Yes, they started 2 of them today. Yep. We were at
Those are
Whitmore
happening
and over at William Ford.
at major schools. Any other commentary? No, thank you. Next item, please.
Request for information and/or future agenda items.
I do have a request of information as far as, we brag a lot about our graduation rates, but I'd like to just get numbers as far as the incoming class that's graduating this year, the count of the freshman class at each high school, and that the count that's graduating this year. So kind of
The count of current freshmen and then
no, the count of the freshmen, the current seniors
Compared to the,
compared to the
4 years
class
ago.
numbers 4 years ago. So the same class that's graduating, but going back 4 years ago.
you're trying to see if we've lost students from the
Oh, the
incoming
count, the overall
freshmen
count, okay.
versus
Count
the
of
senior.
Of this, sorry if I can, may I ask?
Yeah,
Of the seniors that are graduating this June,
yeah, got you.
versus.
when they entered in September, whatever,
Right.
how many of them were there and how many of them have graduated?
Correct.
The class of 2025, basically.
Any other requests? No, thank you. We are,
Future
next
meeting
item,
dates?
yeah, please.
Future meeting dates, Monday, May 19th, HFC Policy Committee meeting, 6 PM at the Administrative Services and Conference Center of the Cabinet Conference Room. And Monday, May 19th, 2025, HFC Board of Trustees meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned at 10 to 18.